Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange.
Yo, 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 what's poppin', everybody? Thank you for clicking that play button, and thank you for joining me. Another Saturday afternoon. I said Sunday. Another Saturday afternoon. I just want to kick off today's episode real quick. I rented the Joker, not the first one, the second one. And I just want to say that movie is just straight garbage. Like hot mess garbage. Like, have you ever, I don't know, it was pretty much like that country with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born, that movie. It was like that, but with like psycho clowns. I don't know. Someone should have told me it was a musical. I would have spent that $6.99. But anyways, we have a very special guest today. We have Bag of Tricks Cat from Alpha House coming in. He's worked with a lot of my favorite artists out there. So very excited for this episode. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Everybody, Bag of Tricks Cat.
Hey, what up?
Let's get the crowd going really quick. There we go.
How's it going?
How's it going, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah. How is it out in there in Phoenix?
Phoenix is kind of chilly right now. A
Chilly?
lot of people don't realize that it gets like really cold here. December wasn't that cold, but January starts getting pretty nippy outside. So
yeah.
Sitting in the studio right now with my heater on and a candle burning, and I'm nice and cozy in here. But if you're outside, you'll probably be wearing a jacket.
Yeah. Like a jacket or like a winter coat? Because it is Arizona.
Yeah, jacket.
Okay.
I mean, it can get really cold, especially up north, like in Flagstaff and Sedona and Show Low, all up in that area. There's even snow there. So yeah, if you're up in northern Arizona, then you might be wearing a winter coat or might be clothing layered. But
right.
If you're in Phoenix, probably not, unless you got really, really blood.
Right. Yeah. I have friends that are in Dallas, and I always ask people that are like in the South. I don't mean to do it on the podcast, but it just kind of happens. But I live in Michigan, where it's cold, like a lot. Like pretty much 8 months out of the year we have snow. So it's So I always throw that question out there. But before we get started, go ahead and take a few seconds to introduce yourself to the people out there.
Well, I'm Bag of Tricks Cat. Everybody calls me Felix. I am an artist. I'm a mix engineer. I do production as well. I own a studio out in Phoenix called Handcrafted Studios with my cousin Brian Geigerick. And I've been in the music industry and doing music for most of my life now. I am about 15, 16 years in. So yeah, this is what I do and most of what I know. But I am, speaking of Joker, I saw you talk about Joker. I am an avid movie fan and movie buff, and
Okay.
Joker is probably the worst movie of the year. Might be the worst movie of several years. Um, Joaquin Phoenix got paid $20 million to reprise the role of Joker again. And I think if they didn't offer him that much money, he wouldn't have done it, because he's an actor over the years that has had a lot of integrity with the roles he takes. This was garbage.
Okay, I'm not alone on this one, so that's great.
No.
Because I made it through not even halfway of the movie, and I had to shut it off. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is bad.
The second half gets really bad.
Yeah, I was like, if I keep watching this movie, because I love the Joker. Heath Ledger did an amazing job at it. Jack Nicholson did an amazing job at the Joker. The Joker is like my favorite DC character out of all of them. And I was like, if I keep watching this, I'm gonna hate the Joker. I'm gonna
That's like kind of the
hating
point.
him. So I gotta turn this off. So I just turned it off.
Quentin Tarantino had an interesting take on it. He said that Todd Phillips is the actual Joker in Joker 2, that he took the money and spent it the way the Joker would have spent it and made a movie the Joker would have made, and caused utter chaos. So Todd Phillips is actually the real Joker now.
Yeah, we just took all that money and just pretty much set it on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Craziness. But yeah, I was looking at your bio and everything when I first I don't want to say found you, but when I first found your music, and I was like, Bag of Tricks Cat. I'm like, that's just an odd name. I was like, how did you come up with your name?
So I get asked that question a lot. It all stems from Felix the Cat.
Okay.
Right here on my shirt. And Felix the Cat is a really iconic cartoon. My grandma was a singer. Her name was Ann Bennett, and sang the 1959 theme song to Felix the Cat. And so Felix the Cat always has a bag of tricks. And the bag of tricks he uses to problem solve with and do lots of creative and cool things with. And so it all stems from my grandma and growing up around Felix the Cat my whole life. I mean, my if you saw baby pictures of me in my bedroom, it was painted with Felix and Felix plushes and everything. So it's really been around me and a big part of my life for my entire life. And my grandma played such a big influence on me growing up. And I mean, she taught me how to read and write. And I have very fond memories of her teaching me the rhyming families.
Okay.
Doing lots of things with me, and she gave me a lot of advice as I got older about the entertainment industry and what she learned from her very long career in it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much where the name stems from.
So you're like, this is kind of like your goal, your destiny. Let's say that it's kind of your destiny, because you have like your whole family is almost like involved in music, right?
Yeah, my grandma was a singer during the big band era.
Mm-hmm.
She was pretty big on the East Coast, not as a recording artist, mainly for live performances. She performed for President Eisenhower and lots of like sophisticated upper class parties and events on the East Coast, with big bands. My grandpa was a trumpet player. That's how she met my grandfather. My dad, who's not related to that grandma is my mom's mother. My dad, though, ended up working for Polygram Records for a while. They were behind like the Bee Gees and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so he worked with them for a while, but then stopped. And then, my family moved to Arizona before I was born. But then my cousin also, Brian, is a mix engineer. He's my big cousin. He's about 7 years older than me. And so, yeah, like every generation like above me for quite a few generations has been somebody's been involved in the music industry in one way or the other.
Right. So this is like your calling. This is I was
Yeah, I
born
mean,
to do this.
I can't really imagine anything else. Like even times where I've been frustrated and I've been like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Like after like really thinking about it, you're like, what else would I do? Like I don't even know where to begin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean,
Right.
this is who I am, and it's what I do.
Yeah, completely understand that. Like, cause my entire family, my grandfather, he was the drummer for Sawyer Brown, the country band, the old
Mhm.
country band, and before they were actually Sawyer Brown, like they were the band before Sawyer Brown. Then they got rid of him. Then they became famous. I don't know why that happened, but it just happened that way. But
That-
yeah, maybe my grandpa was holding back a little bit. I don't know, but but yeah, my entire family is like music. My uncle plays guitar. He's in a band. My grandfather was in a band. My dad, he sings. He does karaoke and all that stuff. He did. I don't think he plays an instrument, but he might. But I was blessed with basketball. Like I could play.
okay.
I could do sports. I'm the only one in my family that's athletic, besides my brother Jason on my mom's side. Which now I know where I get it from. Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
seemed to it's yes, guys seem to take after their moms and on their mom's side. Like I don't know
Yeah,
how that works. But yeah.
I definitely have more of the personality and beliefs and just a lot like my mom's side. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I also grew up with my grandma and stuff a lot around me, so I'm sure that has something to do with it
Right.
as well.
Okay. But yeah, this is it's just crazy like how many people like you don't even realize it until it's actually right in front of you. And I'm just like, okay, so my son's gonna take after my wife. Great.
Mm.
You know? So I'm like, is he gonna be yelling at me too? But I don't know. We'll see. I hope not. But going over your music though, I was like, I was listening to all your tracks and everything, and you have a very distinct. It's unique. I don't want to say distinct, but unique sound. Like the video store 1 and 2 that we're gonna get into. It's just more like a techno disco beat, and then you actually have another song where it actually like gravitates and kind of like grabs you. And I was gonna put that on there, but there was some weird error going on. It was the fear. Was it bad luck? My bad.
Oh, bad
It was
luck.
called
Okay.
Bad Luck. Yeah. Now did you have like do you have like problems with like anxiety and depression and all that stuff too? Because I'm one of those people. I
I
have
haven't.
ADHD and I have depression and all that shit too.
I have in the past. You know, I think a
Okay.
lot of people go through anxiety and depression. I mean, I don't think you can go through your entire life without ever feeling anxious or upset. You know what I
True.
mean? So, I mean, yeah, I've had battles with it. But I recently stopped smoking weed and that helped a lot. So,
I I've heard that. I've smoked weed for since I was 17 up until like now. And I've cut down a lot since then and it does help. Like
oh
don't
yeah.
realize that weed is supposed to help you, but yeah, it also makes you anxious.
Yeah, a lot of the times people feel like it helps their anxiety and depression, but
Mhm.
in my case, I can only really speak for myself, is I was just feeling uh, depressed and anxious out of nowhere. Nothing was really going on to cause it.
Mhm.
And then I'd smoke weed and then I'd be totally fine.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, is weed helping me? Or am I withdrawing from weed if I go like a couple days without smoking?
Mhm.
And am I getting depressed by it? And sure enough, that's definitely what it was.
Right.
Because I was smoking every day from 15, 16, all the way to just a little less than 2 years ago. And if not every day, then close to every day if I skipped a day or two. So yeah, I mean, regardless of the benefits that marijuana has, it has to do something to you if you smoke it every day. And I think anything, in excess can be bad for you. So I just took it's not like I'm done with weed, I'll smoke again and I'm down with it, but I just needed, a nice break, and I'm still on the break. And when I feel ready, I'll come back.
Right now, when you're writing your songs, do you feel, since you've recently just stopped smoking, and I do know a lot of people that say they use marijuana for creativity and all that stuff, like artists and everything. Do you feel like it's harder to write a song without it, or easier?
It's not harder or easier, really.
About the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's harder or easier. Sometimes I have noticed, though, with artists in the past, that when they smoke, sometimes they tend to overthink even more. Creatives are always overthinking, but when you're high, you really overthink things that aren't necessarily going to make or break the song, and it kind of messes up your workflow and your productivity. So I have seen it do that, but I've also seen it too, where somebody is, not feeling it and they smoke a little weed and then all of a sudden some magic happens. So, it goes both ways. And I think it has to do with where you are and the environment you're in, with how you're going to react to it creatively.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like some people, everyone's different.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I tell everybody. I'm like, everyone's different. Like you might not like it, but it might help somebody else. And I think as you get older, if you're like smoking every single day, as you get older, you kind of like outgrow it almost. Like you're just getting to the point where you're just like, I really don't need this anymore. I got a family and everything. I'm busy. I got shit to do.
Yeah, definitely. I
But,
definitely feel like you outgrow it a little bit as you get older. Also, your tolerance, I feel, goes down, or maybe it's a combination between your tolerance going down and the weed just getting like really strong.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's getting crazy now. Like,
Listen, man, when I go to the dispensary, I tell them, I don't want your best shit. Give me the shit that rappers will make fun of me for smoking. That's what I want. You know what I mean?
right,
Like, I'm honest. I still want to be here.
right. I don't need the 37% THC content shit. I don't need all that.
I don't need all that. I don't need no wax. Just give me some flour. Make sure it tastes good, and I don't feel like I'm dying after I smoke it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's getting crazy nowadays. Things are getting strong
Yeah,
for
big
no
time.
reason. Like no one needs that. No one needs it.
I mean, maybe if you're like a cancer patient in pain, but
Yeah,
besides that, I mean, if you're just going about your day, like, I don't think you need to take 4 dabs and then go grocery shopping. You know?
right. Getting high and going grocery shopping is a bad experience altogether. But and you spend too much money and all you have is junk food like chips and crackers and cookies, juice and soda. You might have some sliced cheese in there. I don't know for what, but
Yeah, and then you forgot what you intended to go for. So
yeah. And before you know it, you're $200 in and you have no more money. You have a bunch of junk food.
yeah, man.
Yeah, but let's get back into the music thing a little bit. Like how has your experience in Phoenix like influenced your music? Or like are there like local themes or stories that resonate with you? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Phoenix has really into molding my sound and helping me behind the scenes. You know, Phoenix is an interesting market because it's the 4th largest city in the country,
Mhm.
but nobody has really popped off really big on a national level, like, in A markets like New York and Los Angeles and Chicago, Philadelphia, like all these states I'm naming, Michigan. There's so many rappers, like not even just one. There's an abundance of rappers and just musicians in general that have come out of those states and those cities and have really made a big mark and impression. And in Arizona, we don't have per se one that's like just really shook the earth here, you know. So I was blessed early on to work with a lot of Phoenix legends, though, people that I really admire and respect that have done really incredible things here that don't necessarily get the credit that they deserve. Um, One of the first people, if not the first person to really help me, is an artist out here named Buki. And Buki was signed to Faux Life Records, which was a smaller independent label in the late 90s and early 2000s. He has an album called Stressin', and if you look it up, it's widely considered a G-Funk classic. You know, it's up there with, you know, Warren G and, you know, lots of artists from that era. And I mean, during that time, you know, 1999, he was working with Corrupt. He was working with E40. The entire album was produced by Battle Cat. You know, he had a group called the Survivalists. The Survivalists were the first, if not one of the first, to chart on Billboard out of Arizona with a single. You know, he was in Double XL, The Source. And when I was, you know, about 18, 19 years old, I met him and he took a liking to me and invited me to his studio. And I would be there, you know, almost every day. And I would just watch him work and ask him questions. And it was really like an unspoken, like internship, mentorship thing. And I learned so much from him that saved me so much time of making mistakes, both on the creative end and on the business end. A very good friend of mine, Justice, from a group called Cutthroat Logic. Cutthroat Logic was another like rap group out here that was pretty big during the early 2000s. They toured nationally with Soulfly and were on a couple Soulfly records. Justice was signed to Ruckus Records as records with KRS-One.
Nice.
And is, you know, now is one of the biggest concert promoters in Arizona. And so I learned a lot from Justice on the show end of things with, you know, working with promoters and venues and local artists and bigger artists that are coming out and the ropes with that. So I learned a lot from him. My good friend Megaran, who's actually from Philly, but has lived in Arizona a very long time. You know, he's done so many things. I mean, he's a Guinness World Record breaker. He's charted on Billboard multiple times, and is just an overall really talented guy and a great guy. And I mean, he took me on my first tour ever and taught me about performing and touring and merch. And I mean, I'm 20 years old, you know, and like fresh in the game. So I learned a lot from artists in Phoenix that had a history and a track record of success. And I think, you know, that has definitely contributed to my success in doing everything that I do.
Right. Yeah, like I can like getting involved in like what you want to do for the rest of your life when you're a young age. I preach so much to young people out there. I'm just I just tell them find what you love and go for it now. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to be 38 years old and starting a podcast and realize this is what you want to do for the rest of your life because your life's half over with. So but that's what I always tell people, all the young people now. I'm like, go after your dreams now because you're young. You can afford to mess up. You can afford to make mistakes and start over from scratch multiple times because you're going to. It's going to happen.
Yeah, big time.
All right. But yeah, you've worked with a lot of. You've also worked with I see like The Game. You've worked with Young Buck, Whitney Peyton. I'm a huge fan of Whitney Peyton and ASTRAY and Willie Northpole. Like, how did you guys get involved with the whole Alpha House? How did this come together?
So Willie, I've known for probably close to 10 years and stuff. because we did a record, and we know a lot of mutual people, obviously, in Phoenix, and Willie is really a, you know, as far as hip hop goes, I consider him the most iconic to come out of Phoenix, because he did what no one ever did before him, and unfortunately no one's ever going to do after him, which is, you know, sign to a major label deal, have real distribution. Like, his CD was in Target, you know, and Best Buy. And so I've always looked up to Willie, and have appreciated his work and been a fan. And we've worked over the years here and there. Whitney, I met in 2016, and I was working with Justice. We were throwing a lot of events together.
Okay.
We had this building that we worked out of called Colorline Media, and they had this really big white wall and green wall. And then we had a little radio station and office that we would work out of for bookings and stuff with concerts. And so Whitney was doing a video shoot for, it was a song off Firecracker. I'm not sure which one, but it was a song off Firecracker, and she was shooting there, and we met there. Then we ended up being on a couple different concerts together.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I opened up my studio in 2017, when she was in town, because she was touring so much then, when she was in town, she would come in and, you know, drop some verses for features and work on stuff to send out. But then in 2020, when she wasn't able to tour, we started working a lot more, and ended up getting very close. And she had just gotten off of Sub Noise.
Mm-hmm.
She put out her record Alpha with Sub Noise, and we started working on the Keyed Up album with her and Gina. And then after the Up album, she, you know, told me, I'm not going to re-sign with Sub Noise. I want to start my own label. And the first record she gave me to work on was Give It Gas. And it it just went from there. And then the Audacity came out. But yeah, like we've talked about, you know, what we can not only do as artists for ourselves, but what we can do for other artists that we really admire and appreciate. And so after we put out a couple releases through Alpha House, we decided, okay, maybe we should sign a couple artists. And so Willie, you know, was already at the top of my. I was working with him already. He was coming in the studio and laying down new songs, and he didn't really have a plan set or anything of what he was going to do or what he was going to do with them. So it really made sense for him to come and join the team with Alpha House. And Whitney, you know, got caught up with his history and listened to his music and thought it was a great idea. So that was a slam dunk. And then Astray, I wasn't familiar with Astray until Whitney did a record with him called Sometimes. And he sent over, he sings a bridge on there and then raps a verse. And I just thought he was really, really dope. And yeah, I didn't even know about, you know, the Shady Records stuff or anything. I just knew that he was a really dope and talented guy. And so we decided, okay, we should probably pick up Astray too. And yeah, it just, you know, one thing leads to another with it. When it first started, I don't think she intended it to be, you know, something where there was going to be multiple artists on it. She really made it out of necessity to self-release her own music in a way. But it has slowly grown into that and even more.
Yeah, like it's like when you guys put out your EPs, like the Goosebumps and like the Pack of Wolves one, I'm just like, this is dope. I'm like, wow. And it's like I'm sending it to everybody that I know. I'm like, you got to listen to this. You have to listen to this. This is amazing. And it's just like even everyone on that track is just like spitting straight fire, and everyone on this label is just amazing. And it's to be a fan and watching this is just something to see. I love independent artists. I think the independent scene is topping the mainstream by far nowadays. And was like, do you think the whole Spotify era and like the whole SoundCloud era, like this is where the future of music is going to be? Like, do you see the whole record label thing happening anymore?
I do see labels coming back.
Okay.
I do see labels coming back. Maybe not in the same capacity, but I do see them coming back. The thing is back then, before, streaming and before like the indie market boomed, labels had a lot of resources that indies couldn't get a hold of. Professional studios, for recording and mixing, music videos, PR. There was no social media, connections to the media, marketing budgets, all that. Now, somebody can go to Guitar Center and pick up a microphone and an interface and record a song on their laptop. They can distribute it through DistroKid. They can shoot a reel on their phone, post it on Instagram, and call it a day, So a lot of the mindset now is, what do I need a label for? What you're going to need a label for is the consistency and to be able to keep up with it. Because right now, it's not easy to make so much content to post every single day. You have to have a team with you if you're going to be making new songs, posting content, doing shows, having merch, like running your website. There's so many tasks at hand. How can one person, keep up with all of this? You have to have a team. And so the allure that a label would bring now is, we can offer you a team.
Right.
Like, we can make sure that you're posting high quality content multiple times a day. We can make sure that, you stick to a schedule with your releases and you don't get left behind. That's how labels are going to come back.
Right. Now, do you say,
and for content, as the demand for the quantity of content increases, the allure of labels will rise.
Okay. Now, do you see AI like taking over a lot of those jobs though too? Because I'm going to be honest, I use AI to do homework on my guests a lot.
Yeah, AI can help with a lot of different tasks, but there's just certain things that you still have to do by yourself.
Sure.
Or you still need a person to do. So yeah, there's certain things like writing a contract for a show. Absolutely. You know what I mean? For making a quick graphic or something that's just a throwaway. Absolutely. For, drafting up emails and consolidating things and making sure you get the pinpoint, the bullet points. Absolutely. But I don't think, at least right now, and I don't think in the foreseeable future, AI, even if you have AI, I don't think one person in AI can keep up with doing everything.
Right. It's tedious.
And if they do, then there's a massive fall in the quality of what's being made, and maybe even their communication and other aspects of the business. I just don't see how you could do it without a team.
Right. Yeah, it seems like a team is definitely needed, even with AI, because I myself
team.
Yeah, like I myself I do everything on my podcast by myself, and it's a full-time job. Like I go to work, I come home, and I work. I go to work, I come home, and I work. That's my life.
Yeah, 100%.
But, yeah.
So, yeah, I do think that labels will come back to some capacity. And I also think that it's going to be hard to determine what the future of music holds, because it changes so rapidly. Even without AI and stuff, it's constantly changed. You know, when I was a kid, you know, used to get a CD, and then when I was in junior high and a teenager, it was about, you know, having your iPod and downloading on iTunes. And then, you know, it went from that to streaming. And now, like, it's streaming and collecting vinyl. You know what I mean? It just, who knows where it's going to go. But people will always change the way they consume their music and entertainment.
Yep. And sometimes they consume it on the show.
Yes.
We're gonna get it. Yeah, we're gonna get into a video real quick that's by you, and it's featuring Melissa Marie and Bag of Tricks Cat. It is the Video Store Part 2. Now, I seen Part 1, and it's Part 1's great too. But how did you and Melissa Marie get together and collaborate for this?
So Melissa is a good friend of mine. I first met her when a few years back, she and Whitney Peyton did a song together called Bad Bitch. And we really hit it off. And Melissa makes very different music from me. Her music's very upbeat. And mine is more, you know, leans more towards hip hop. She has songs that you have fun to. I have songs where you self-reflect for the most part. But I happened to start making this song out of nowhere. I had a session with my cousin where we just sat down, and I had a couple friends with me, and wrote this song. And it was really just for fun. And it was honestly the most fun I ever had making a song to this day was making Video Store. And I was going to do more songs like that, a lot more songs like that. But I showed it to Melissa, and I said, I want to do a song like this with you. And Melissa said, no, I just want to do this song. Liked the song so much. She heard Video Store and was like, I love this song. Like, I want to do this one. So I'm like, okay, we'll do this. So I really liked, you know, the first version of Video Store. So I wanted to keep that anyway. So I figure, okay, we'll do a part 2. We'll change some things up. You know what I mean? And Melissa can get on there. So it was really a lot of fun to make the song. It is really a lot of fun to make the video. And I think it's really fun to listen to and watch. Anybody who listens to it and watches, you can't help but smile, especially if you're into movies as much as I am.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, the Video Store was the hookup place back in the day. People don't know that. The family videos. The Hollywood videos. That was the hookup spot back in the day. You didn't know that.
Video Blockbuster. That was filmed at the last Video Store in Phoenix. We still have
really?
We still have one. That is not a set. That is a real store.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Shout out to Store Video on 47th Avenue and Olive. Go and rent a movie from there if you're in Phoenix or Glendale.
That's right. Let's plug them. There you go. It's the last Video Store. We have to keep them in business. It's the very last one. We got to do
100%.
That's right. All right, everybody. It's time to turn your volumes up and get ready to listen to Bag of Tricks Cat and Melissa Marie with Video Store Part 2. Enjoy.
Hi, oh my god. It's Friday night at the video store. I walked through the door, oh, he's seen me before. I got my own magic mic, but I wanna explore. Like Indiana Jones, he's my Harrison Ford. I told him push play, Ghostface, I slay. I want a 1-week rental, and maybe 50 first dates. I'm a heartbreaker, might sound cliche. I can show you how to lose a guy in 10 days.
She was so far that I had to rewind to the last time I saw her live. She ran in signs and seemed like a sign to get to know her for a beautiful mind. She was so far that I had to rewind to the last time I saw her live. She ran in signs, it felt like a sign that I had to make this girl mine. She was at the video store, I know I seen her before. She likes dramas, rom-coms, and her hairstyle blonde, but still like some thrillers and gore. She was at the video store, I know I seen her before. She likes dramas, rom-coms, and her hairstyle blonde, but still like some thrillers and gore. Oh.
I got a sweet tooth, drink popcorn. I'm not that clueless. I'm so pitch perfect, you want an encore. I'm a superstar. I got a sweet tooth, soda pop popcorn. Pop, 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 pop. The devil wears Prada, but I'm worth way more. Oh yeah.
I'll treat you like a queen, you'll be my princess bride. I know your girls are mean, don't treat me like the fly. My love for you's Jurassic. Hope this don't end like Titanic, yeah. She was so far that I had to rewind to the last time I saw her alive. She ran in signs, it seemed like a sign to get to know her for a beautiful mind. She was so far that I had to rewind to the last time I saw her alive. She ran in signs, it felt like a sign that I had to make this girl mine. She was at the video store, I know I seen her before. She likes dramas, rom-coms, and her hairstyle blonde, but still like some thrillers and gore. She was at the video store, I know I seen her before. She likes dramas, rom-coms, and her hairstyle blonde, but still like some thrillers and gore. Oh.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Like, hell yeah. That was nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's just a fun song, man.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of fun watching it, honestly. It's like one of those videos where you're actually smiling throughout the whole entire one, because it's just it's something that everyone hasn't encountered, and it's something that everyone, if they haven't encountered, they wish they had.
Yeah, big time.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, not only making the song, but also making the video. And yeah, I feel like you can hear that and you can see that.
Yeah. Like it was a lot of fun. You could tell you guys are having fun with it. And the part where you're just like, you're just holding out and you're just throwing titles of movies in the line and you're just throwing them out there. I was like, that's fucking brilliant. It's like a video store, and I'm just gonna throw a whole bunch of video titles in this bar real quick. And that was brilliant.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it seems like you have a lot of fun in a lot of your songs. Like you have a lot of fun in them.
Yes. You know, the early stuff that I did was very melancholy sounding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I, like I said, different bouts with depression and anxieties and stuff. So, I mean, obviously that's reflected in my music, but I've made it a point also to when I feel good and I want to make something upbeat. I want to have fun too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of artists take themselves a little too seriously sometimes. And, you know, even some of my favorite artists, like, you know, you look at Eminem, like he has songs like Ass Like That and Fack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
like, he's not being lyrical or rapping even really good on them. You know what I mean? It's just a fun, silly song. So
Right.
I think it's okay to make fun songs. I think it's okay to make silly songs. And you can also be serious and do some really deep and impactful stuff as well. You don't have to be one or the other.
Right. Yeah. You had another song out there that I listen to constantly. It's called Bad Friend.
Oh, bad.
We all have one of those friends. We all, if you do not have one of those friends, you are that friend. So
Yeah, big time.
just
Yeah,
like
bad. A fun one. I sent that record to Whitney, and I told her, I was like, I got this song called Bad Friend I want to get you on. And she was thinking like, oh, this is going to be like a serious song. You know what I mean? And she told me, she was like, I heard it, and I was like, oh, like, it's not something super serious and sad. Like, we're just going to have fun with it. Okay.
Yep. It's like there's a part in there's like you're never gonna get those DVDs back. And it's like, that's true. I still have DVDs that I have not gotten back.
Yeah, I already know, bro. Books, games.
Yep, man. The person that comes over just to smoke your weed. Yep,
Just to
that guy
smoke your
too.
weed,
He's there.
the barbecue.
Yep.
That's it. They leave.
Yep, and then it's over.
And you don't see them again
But
until the next.
right. So where do you see yourself like in the future? Like, I'm gonna do the interview question, the job
Okay.
interview question. Where do you see
Okay.
yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I like to manifest things. So I see myself winning a Grammy for
Yes.
my mixing and engineering. I see Alpha House growing even bigger. Whitney Peyton really taking off to another level. Whitney's already a Grammy winner. Not too many people know that, but he does have a Grammy. She's going to have a gold or platinum record to a song that I mix. I will probably be mix only by then, so I won't have like a studio that's necessarily open for people to just come in and track. I'll probably be more privatized in the sense where I just get files and mix. I do have plans to make more music. It's just not my main priority at the moment, but I do have plans to put some more stuff out through Alpha House. But yeah, I foresee prosperity, wealth, health, and good vibes.
Hell yeah. Good vibes. Yep. Yeah, you have a lyric in one of I think of what in a song where you're with the Stray, and it's like M signed it, but he needed a Dre. So are you more like the producer? Like you enjoy more of the producer role, or do you enjoy more of like the just being the artist, or is it kind of like a battle between the two?
I love both, and I love
Okay.
both for different reasons. I think how I want to be looked at and how I want people to see me is I want to be seen as more than just an artist. I want people to kind of look at me in a similar way, not the same way, but in a similar way. People look at Dr. Dre, because when you think of Dr. Dre, obviously you think of the Chronic and Chronic 2001, but you think of Eminem, you think of The Game, you think of 50 Cent, you think of Exhibit, you think of Kendrick Lamar. So I think when people think of Bag of Tricks Cat, I want them to think of Whitney Peyton. I want them to think of Willie Northpole. I want them to think of Astray and really good artists that I've worked with and have helped produce.
Right. Yeah,
Besides,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like I would want to do like more of the producer role. Like I don't know. I like being a host, but I think behind the scenes is where I belong. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just weird that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. But it's just it's just weird that some people just don't like the limelight. Like I've had people on here to say that I enjoy producing and I'd rather do that, but I make songs because it gets me out there, me personally out there. And it's like, yeah, I can understand that. I completely understand that.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. I feel fulfillment doing both.
Okay.
There's not makes me feel more fulfilled than the other. They both make me feel fulfilled. I think being an artist myself has helped tremendously on the production end of things, because I know the technical terms, but I know how to speak to an artist.
Okay.
And I remember the days when I didn't know the technical terms to things. So I have really good communication with the artists that I work with. When they have a vision or they want to have their record sound a certain way, but they don't know how to tell me, I do a good job of picking up what they're trying to communicate to me for that song. So I think that it's helped me. And I think that the recording and mixing end of things has helped me become a better artist, and has changed my perspective on how to approach songs when I write them, and has given me more fuel to imagine what a record could be and the potential of it could be as I'm writing it. So I think that they've helped each other, both aspects of it.
Okay. Yeah, like one hand kind of feeds the other, one hand washes the other. Pretty much.
Yes.
Yep. So now, do you have like a go-to CD or a go-to artist that you listen to when you listen to music, or are you one of those people that don't listen to other people's music just because?
I listen to a lot of Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
I listen to a lot of Michael Jackson. Like,
Now,
if you
old
my Apple year in review, like 70% of it is Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay. Are you like old school Thriller Michael Jackson or like new school?
Like from Off the Wall on.
Okay.
So from Off the
Billie
Wall
Jean.
from Thriller, Billie Jean, Bad, Dangerous, Invincible, and everything in between.
Yeah, the Man in the Mirror song is my favorite by Michael. Man in the Mirror.
Oh, Man in the Mirror is a classic.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite.
That's off of Bad, but I listen to a lot of Michael Jackson. I do listen to What's New. I'm really into the most recent Lupe Fiasco album, Samurai. Okay. I really like Samurai. I thought Tyler, the Creator's last album was really good. I listened to the Snoop Dogg album. I enjoyed it. A recent favorite of mine, because I haven't gotten into an album in a long time, really into it, where I'm like, oh, I want to listen to this top to bottom, and I really enjoy it from top to bottom, is Russ Santiago. And I'm not even a big Russ fan. Okay. I couldn't even name any of his other albums to you, but for some reason I came across that album and I listened to it, and I just love that album.
Wow. Eminem does that to me. I got to listen to every Eminem album, front to back.
Yeah, I listen to Eminem when he drops. But besides that, I'm listening to a lot of Whitney Peyton. I'm listening to a lot of Willie Northpole and Astray and Megaran. And I don't know if you know Hatch.
Yep, Hatch Wise Guy. Yep.
Yeah,
he was actually on the show. Yeah, he was actually on the show about a year ago. I think about a year ago.
Gotta bring him back.
Oh yeah, it's in the works. I have plans.
Back. Yeah, I like Hatch's music a lot. Yeah, man. I mean, I listen to a lot of indies. I listen to a lot of classics. I listen to a lot of new stuff that comes out in the mainstream. I try to listen to everything, but
Mhm.
for pleasure, for personal, like just enjoyment, I'm probably listening to Michael Jackson or the Beatles.
Right. The Beatles too. Yeah. Wow. I had a friend that listened to the Beatles a lot, and I was just like, always like, why are you listening to the Beatles? And he's like, you have to listen to the lyrics. Don't listen to the song. Listen to the lyrics. And then it all came together. But still, Beatles. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. The Yellow Submarine turned me off.
I mean, Yellow Submarine isn't a strong one, but
Right.
there's some really strong records there.
Now, what do you think about the whole Snoop Dogg owning Death Row Records now, with all the controversy that was back in the '90s with Death
I,
Row and Bad
it's a
Boy and
full,
all that?
it's a full circle moment for Snoop.
It's just like it's mine now.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
full circle moment. It went from Suge Knight wants to kill you to now I own your label.
Well, yeah, Suge's in prison for a while, so he's not going to be using it.
No, no, I think
Right.
it's great, and I think that he's done a lot too for the artists that were signed to the label, as far as helping them get their royalties from the records that were put out, and it's some of their most famous songs, that they've never gotten paid for,
Right.
or haven't been paid for in decades. So yeah, I think it's great that Snoop got Death Row, and I see it as just a full circle moment for him that he was destined to have Death Row.
Right. Yeah, I see it. Like I listen to Stevie Stone too. I don't know. Do you listen? You know who Stevie Stone is?
Yep.
Yeah, he was signed to I want to say Ruthless Records for a little while. I don't know if it's still Ruthless, but it was uh, Jerry Heller and Easy E's old wife, I guess, own a record label now. And
Mhm.
I guess he was signed to them, and he came out with like a diss track, like a couple of them actually, where he just rips into those two. And I was just like, wow, I'm like, I can't believe like they were still ripping off artists even after the whole Easy E thing and NWA thing passed. And they
Oh
were
yeah,
just still going about that whole business like as shady as they were before.
of course they were.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yet the
crazy.
music industry, and I just made a post about this maybe a week ago, is extremely predatory.
Hmm.
It's extremely predatory, and you have to be cautious. And unfortunately, getting burned and getting ripped off is a way of earning your stripes in this business. I'll be the first to tell you that I've been ripped off in the past. And it happens, especially when you're starting early off, and somebody's selling you hopes and dreams.
Hmm.
So yeah, you have to be really cautious, um, and work with people that have a good reputation. I think reputation speaks volumes. Um, and then after reputation is the quality of work,
Right.
because there's people who are scumbags that still do great work. You know
It's
what I
true.
So reputation first, then quality of work.
Yeah, the quality of work. Yeah, it's sad to see like these people, like these artists, they work so hard on all this, and then it just gets taken from them just because people are greedy, and it's not even talented people. They're just business, business savvy people that decided they didn't want to take advantage. And it's sad, but it happens. It happens. It's part of the business, I guess. As you said, it's
Yeah,
almost part of the business.
I chalk it up to just people being people. You know, there's crooks in every industry. You know what I
Right.
mean? Look at the healthcare system. You know what I'm saying? Look at whatever you do, whatever career path you decide to choose, whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be a lawyer, whether you want to open up a restaurant, whether you want to be a rapper, you're going to
Yep.
deal with some scumbags along the way. And it is what it is. I think in the entertainment industry, it's a bit magnified, you
Right.
know, because everything, is kind of like in the public light. But yeah, I think that's just part of living, and you know being alive and going along your journey.
Right. You got to learn. Hey, it's not, the road's not all smooth, like smoothly paved. There's bumps in the road. You're going to fall and people are going to push you over and it's going to happen. But you just chalk it up as a learning experience and move forward, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can't let it discourage you. You have to just keep moving forward. And if you love it enough, you will.
Right. Right. But yep. Real quick, this is never a quick question, but I always say real quick at the end of the episode.
Okay.
I always tell everybody to give me their Mount Rushmore of music in the music industry of artists. It can be any genre of music you want. Most people go with hip hop, but you can do whatever you want. But your Mount Rushmore of musicians.
Dead or alive or just alive?
It can be anybody you want. Dead or alive, don't matter.
All right, well, you got to put Michael Jackson as George Washington there.
Okay. Number one. Oh, we lost the video. I think he's getting a phone call because that usually happens.
There we go. Yeah.
There he goes. Yep.
There we go. You got to put Michael Jackson as George Washington. The man sold the biggest record of all time. Had the biggest deal of all time with Sony Records. He bought the Beatles. He bought.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So Michael Jackson has to be number one there. You could put there are two people, but they could take up one spot. Is John Lennon and Paul McCartney? They have to be on there because their influence on popular music is still going to this day. I mean, even I have interpolated, Beatles songs within some of my lyrics and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they just changed music and music culture. And so you have to include them. In hip hop.
This is the fun question for me because I get to watch people just sit there and think.
In hip hop, I'm going to have to say Dr. Dre because Dr. Dre, even though he doesn't have an extensive catalog, he is responsible for the biggest songs and artists in hip hop ever. Yep. I mean, he is behind Snoop Dogg. He is behind Tupac. He's behind Eminem. He's behind, Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. Like he just, his influence over the last 3 decades or 3.5 decades is just incredible in hip hop. And there's so many talented artists and so many incredible albums that wouldn't be today. Some of my favorite albums of all time wouldn't exist today if it wasn't for Dr. Dre. So you got to put Dr. Dre up there. Then lastly,
the hardest one.
It is the hardest one.
It's the hardest one.
It's the hardest one. Who should it be?
Mm-hmm. I always tell people I should put the Jeopardy theme in when this happens.
This is a really tough one, dude.
Uh-huh.
This is a really tough one. This is a good question. God.
The silence is deafening.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough, man. 3 is easy. 4 though?
4 is three's easy.
3 got me, but 4? Okay, let's go.
Because you already got some greats up there.
Yeah, so they gotta be like in that same. They gotta be of that same caliber in order to be, with those.
It's remotely close.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. Oh, you stumped me on that last one.
I always do. It's always the last one that people are just like, they always throw the first three up there really quick. And the last one, they're just like, man, I don't know. Because I don't want to leave anybody out. But like
Yeah.
I have, you do. You have a mountain to compare to.
Yeah, it's true. Like the bar has been set, and that's a really high bar.
Yeah, most people, like I find on this one, most people say artists that I have no idea who they are. And I'm just like, really? So then I'm on Google. I'm just and I'm looking up new artists and finding new music. And I find this as a good way to find new artists too, and find new music, and then possibly get them on the show. Who knows?
I'm gonna throw this out there.
Okay.
And this may be interchangeable, but I'm gonna throw it out there just for the sake of throwing it out there. I'm gonna have to put Tech Nine there.
There you go. Yes.
Not because I'm like the biggest Tech Nine fan. I do like Tech Nine and stuff, but I have to put somebody there who has really shaped the independent market and really set out an incredible blueprint for indies and has really changed the culture of music. And that's what the others on my list have done, is they have a big cultural impact and affected not only sound, but business. And so I think Tech, is an arguable spot there because of how much he changed the game for independent artists. So
right.
Yeah,
You could.
I'll stand on that. I'll put Tech there.
Yeah, I do love Tech Nine because of that reason, that he puts independent artists out there too, and it lets them get heard too on his platforms with his fans. And another one you could probably throw up there is probably Master P, because he changed the game for everyone in hip hop. From signing yourself to making your own money, creating your own CDs, creating your own product, putting your own product out there, and licensing and marketing your own self. Like, you could put him up there too.
Yeah, Master P is a legend for sure.
Yep, for sure. But unfortunately, I always hate this part of the show. We are running out of time. But I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to come out and hang out with me for about an hour. And it's been amazing.
Been out to me and wanting me on your show and listening to my music and, listening to, the artists that I work with as well. I'm sorry it didn't work out last month, but
you're good.
I'm happy that we were able to reschedule and get this set up.
Yep. Yeah. It always happens. It's part of the game in podcasting or in anything, really. Like, some things come up and you have to reschedule, and it's not that big of a deal. It just gave me more homework, more time to do homework on you. That's all it did.
Okay, I got a question for you. What's your favorite?
Okay, cool.
What's your favorite Bag of Tricks Cat song?
Oh, besides the Bad Friend, I would have to go. See, now you got me on this one. I'm not gonna open my phone. I'm not gonna do it because I have a bunch of your songs on my playlist, and I'm not gonna open my phone. I'm just gonna. Besides the Bad Friend, I would have to go with. Just see, now you got that, man. Probably the Pack of Wolves, only because it's all four of you.
Okay.
And it's hard, and it hits hard too. It's like, it gets you out of your seat and everything like that, and it gets you all hyped up for the day.
Oh yeah. Fun fact, I wrote my verse for Pack of Wolves and Cook on the same day. I wrote and recorded them both.
Yep, Cook's a good one too. Yep. That hook on there, just cook. That hook is amazing. It's just Cook 3 times, but it hits, and it's great.
Oh yeah, man.
Like, whoever produced that song is an amazing producer. I really like him.
His name's Carter.
His name's who?
D Carter, and he's out of Phoenix.
Oh, I thought it was you. So
No.
Oh wow.
He made that beat.
Okay, D Carter out of Phoenix. Nice.
I don't have a lot of beats that I've put out there and stuff. The Goosebumps beat I made
Okay.
that. And then what's that record? It's the first record on Whitney's album with NK
Uh-huh.
and Buried Alive. It's off of the Side Effects album. I produced that one.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of amazing songs out there by you guys. You guys are doing amazing things, and I'm glad that I can get at least some of you on here, if not all of you. That's my whole goal. So I have to get Willie on here, and I got to give Whitney on here.
Okay,
Whitney,
yeah.
I might have to pay. Whitney, I might have to pay to come on. But
I'll put in the word for you, bro.
oh, that'd be sweet, dude. That'd be awesome. Big fans of both of them, honestly. But all you guys, honestly. But yeah,
man.
thank you again. I do want to thank you again for taking time out of your day to come on here. Everyone out there, all his links are in the description below. So if you want to go check out his music, it's all in the description below. So just go click on his links, give him a follow, a like, subscribe, and all that good jazz. Anything you want to throw out? You got anything to plug or anything before we go?
Just follow Dan and everything he does.
That's right. Okay. It's weird that no one plugs me, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Dan's doing good stuff.
Yep. We're trying, and we're having fun doing it. That's all we're doing. But all right, everyone. Next week, don't forget. Next week we are coming back next week, next Saturday, new time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We have comedian Dustin Cole coming on, so look out for that. And it's going to be another great episode because we actually went to school together back in junior high. So
Nice.
It's fun. It's a good thing. We kind of found each other on Facebook, so we went to school together for 2 years, and then we were like best friends, or almost best friends for 2 years, and then he moved away, and we never talked again until now.
Wow. So you guys got some
small world. A lot of catching up, actually. Yes.
Yeah. That may be a 2-hour episode.
It might be. I might have to edit it down. We'll see. But all right, everyone. I love you guys as always. I love you. Stay up. Peace.
Peace.